Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan. I am a California Community College transfer student. I'm making this video really to hopefully reach anybody that is out there like myself, a community college transfer student or a high school senior or a parent of a high school senior or international student, anybody who's looking at the four-year university, either transfer admission or general admissions process, and you're stuck. You're not sure if your essays are where they should be. You're not sure if your application is where it should be, and the resources that you have available to you aren't enough, and the deadlines are coming, and the anxiety is building, and the stress is building. And if you're in that situation, I get it. I was in that situation, and I definitely know what it was like. I spent many restless nights looking at my essays, not sure if this was right or this was wrong, and I found myself really going in circles. Some little background on my personal situation. I was looking at the transfer admissions process, and I'm a first generation college student. So nobody in my family could really offer the support, albeit they love me and all, but they couldn't offer me the support that I was looking for. The local community college counselors were really limited in their scope of knowledge outside of the state of California. So I found myself really on my own, and I knew right from the get-go that some of the universities and their application processes were very vague, very ambiguous, and I had no idea how to do. And I knew I needed help. I knew I needed an expert. So I began a search. I spent a few months looking for who that resource or what that resource looked like. And I went to many one-on-one meetings with admissions advisors. I did online meetings. I did it all. And I didn't realize how predatory some of the entities can be in that industry. They know that I am stressed. They know that I am pressed for time, and they were taking advantage of it. And I realized that more important to me than anything else when I was looking at getting an outside resource was I needed somebody that was genuine. I needed somebody that was authentic. Somebody that I knew cared more about what I had to say in my story, my application, and less about what it is that they could glean from me. And I found that entity after many, many months of research and searching. I found it in Standout Admissions. And Standout Admissions was incredible. It was a great experience, and they were able to offer a level of authenticity that I couldn't get anywhere else. And specifically, I worked with David Richards, and he has a number of YouTube videos online that immediately stood out to me. As I was browsing and looking for resources, I found his videos. He was offering very insightful information into specific universities, the general essays themselves, the Common App, etc. It was unlike anything I'd ever seen, and not many other academic advisors were doing that. And so right from the get-go, that seemed different. And so when I saw that and I saw how insightful he was, I tried to apply, but I knew I still needed help. So I got in touch with him, and after a quick conversation and a few corny jokes later, I hired him, and it was really that easy. And imagine months of searching, and it was that fast for me. And the main reason being, I can't stress this enough, was authenticity. He was so genuine, and it was very evident from the get-go that he was more interested in what it is that he could do for me and my specific circumstance than anything else. And that spoke to me on many different levels, because I knew he knew that I was frizzy haired. It was very abundantly clear that I was stressed and I was anxious, but he was very patient, and I started working with him, and he looked at my essays, and his level of expertise was uncanny. The nuances to each school that he was able to identify, the things from my personal history, my backstory that I would have originally omitted in my essay that he said were real assets, and showed me the different techniques with which I would write them into my essay and how they could be assets. That was invaluable, and it was unbelievable, really, the things that I learned in that process. And I honestly looked forward to working with David. I looked forward to each week when we would get together, and I would call, or he would look at my essay, and I looked forward to that. And it was a really enjoyable experience, on top of no longer feeling the stress, the anxiety, the unknown, right? Feeling stuck, and that deadline isn't going to change. So if you're in that similar situation that I just described, you're stuck, You don't know if either yours or your child's or whoever, anybody that's looking at the admissions process, you don't know if it's your best foot forward. The application is in its most prime state. If you're in that situation, please, 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 I cannot give a higher recommendation that you at the very least contact David and get in touch and see what he can do for you. It really, I think in many ways, potentially changed my life. And I can't stress enough how much I appreciate that he offers the services that he does with the mindset that he does. So, I won't take too much of your time, but I hope for those of you that watched to this point, if you're in that situation that I described and you're not sure how to go about the admissions process, and like I did, that you need help, please contact David. I cannot stress that enough. Well, with that, again, thank you for your time, for watching, and I hope I seemed authentic. If not, then whatever, but I hope you can learn something from this, or hopefully avoid the things that I had to go through, and if you do, then that's all the payoff I need for this video. So with that, best of luck to you and your future endeavors, and I wish you all the best. Take care.